High temperatures, gusty winds, dry lightning, they're threatening to worsen wildfire conditions across Western Canada, where more than 100 fires are currently burning in British Columbia. And among them, the Bald Range fire, which has already burned an estimated 33,000 acres. That's more than 13,000 hectares in less than 2 days. Now, the fast-moving wildfire forced the evacuation of more than 20,000 people this weekend. The province issued a state of emergency on Saturday. Local authorities are urging residents to follow official protocols as firefighters work to slow the spread of the flames. And joining us now, live from Langford, Canada, is British Columbia's Minister of Forests, Ravi Parmar. And sir, thank you so much for joining us here on the program. First, could you share with us what you and your teams are seeing on the ground? Just how fast are these fires moving?
Well, good evening, ma'am. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be able to speak to your audience. We are dealing with a very challenging wildfire situation here in British Columbia, and I also want to take the opportunity to send all of my best to the wildland firefighters in the United States who are also facing a very challenging wildfire situation this year as well. What you described with this Bald Range fire near Summerlin, British Columbia, at the Okanagan, the central interior part of our province, is a very difficult situation. What we have is a wildfire that really acted like a bomb went off. And what we saw in a matter of an hour was a wildfire that started at about 50 hectares grow to just over 1,000 hectares in less than an hour. That led to an evacuation of a beautiful town called Summerland in a matter of just hours of over 15,000 individuals. At this time, we have over 20,000 individuals right across British Columbia dealing with evacuation orders. And without a doubt, what we are facing this year in particular is extreme wildfire behavior driven by climate change and drought conditions.
You say these fires are, quote, like a bomb going off, extreme fires that are moving very fast. So what is your message to residents and visitors in the area? What do they need to do now to stay alert and to stay safe?
It's a great question. What we are asking all British Columbians is to know that the BC Wildfire Service are hardworking wildland firefighters who are working hard every single day, doing their level best to contain this fire. But it is very challenging given the velocity of growth that these fires have seen as soon as they set off on a run. What we want residents to know is every British Columbian has a role to play in a wildfire season. We need them to do their part. We need them to be fire smart. We need them to have their go bags ready. We need them to support our wildland firefighters by not having campfires, by not doing anything that would increase the likelihood of a fire occurring in their community. Certainly, we are positioned well with resources from Mexico and Australia, as well as throughout Canada. But what we are experiencing with these fires in particular is there is a number of resources you can put on a fire to deal with the level of growth that we've seen over the last 48 hours.
And tell me about the firefighters, because they are working hard and working tirelessly. They are fighting the fires, they're helping with the evacuations, but they're also saving lives. Could you tell us more about how they're responding to this disaster?
I'm glad you asked that question. What we saw on Friday evening here in British Columbia was a day that I don't think we will ever forget, in particular for my organization, the BC Wildfire Service. When this fire was discovered at 5:30 in the evening, we threw everything we could at it, and quickly our wildland firefighters had to transition from fighting this fire to actually evacuating individuals who were in the perimeter of this fire. We had 19 helicopters that evening working very hard to quickly evacuate people as quickly as we could given the circumstances. And so I want to speak directly to not just the wildland firefighters in British Columbia, but throughout the world. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for running into these fires and saving lives every single day.
And do your teams right now have what they need? Do they have the resources required to fight these fires and to save people who may be trapped?
The BC Wildfire Service is responding with strength every single day. We are a world-class organization with strong partnerships with other agencies around the world, including a very strong partnership with CAL FIRE, and we are well positioned to deal with the challenges ahead. But I am mindful of the fact that we are dealing with extreme wildfire behavior. When someone on my team describes the Bald Range fire as a bomb going off, leaves me very concerned. And so I want to warn all British Columbians, all Canadians, and people around the world that we are amidst a very challenging wildfire season globally. Now is the time for everyone to do their part, and we will get through this together.
Absolutely. And we have to talk about the displaced because more than 20,000 people have been ordered to evacuate. And do you know people who have lost their homes? And how is the community coping during this fast-moving, fluid, and dangerous time?
Well, ma'am, I've never been put in the position myself to have had to evacuate. And so I can only speak from the stories that I've heard on the ground. And I've just seen a level of heroism of people looking after one another. Summerland is a community that has a lot of seniors in its population. And to be vacating your homes at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning is challenging for anyone of any age. But in particular, I want to thank all those unsung heroes who stepped up to be able to help support those individuals who are most vulnerable to be able to get to safety. Without a doubt that this fire has caused structural loss, but we are recognizing how challenging of a circumstance it is to vacate a town of 15,000 people in the middle of the night. And I want to thank all those emergency officials and personnel who worked so very hard under very difficult circumstances.
Well, Ravi, we also want to thank you and your team for being there to support the community during this time of these fast-moving, explosive fires. It's a very scary situation. We thank you, and please, you and your team, take care.